All right, we got a express version of BOMM this week. Black Opinions Bad Motherfucker. My name is Amin and Jason. That's Jason Madison. Due to some crazy travel schedules, we're only two that's gonna be on it this week. Damn it, we're gonna hold down the fort. We gotta talk about I got drunk and I started sending Trey very angry. I just started
What?
shitting on him. And in his Instagram stories, Trey's out in LA. He just received an award, an advertising award. We're proud of him and stuff. But I was just harassing this nigga. Like he posted a picture. They said, "Oh, what are the shit that someone posted?" It was like, "Trey, you're a ray of light" or something like that. Lighten up. I said that must be the first time you ever heard them words.
You hit him with the darkness.
Yeah.
Nah, shout out to Trey, man. You know what I'm saying? He out here doing his thing, winning awards for advertising. I don't know.
Taking coon ass pictures with that tuxedo. No, I'm telling you, I don't know how much of this shit I could even say out loud. Nigga,
Right.
I was just ruthless yesterday, man. But that's what happens with your boy. Your boy finds himself in the sauce and then just go through Instagram like, what's he doing here?
Stood it and booted.
with the chucks on though.
With the PG Lane chucks.
Yeah.
He had to keep it, you know what I'm saying? East side on him.
We got a great show for you. What we gonna talk about?
I don't know. I thought we don't even have a rundown. That's why I was like, I'm over here scrolling my Twitter likes, like, what even happened this week? Like, I mean, I don't know. Lori Harvey broke up with Damson. I don't know.
Let's start there, man. Let's start with Lori Harvey.
Yeah.
What is the world's infatuation? Here's the deal, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck, right?
Right.
I'm not trying to be too cool for school or anything like that, but she cute. She's not like, let's drop everything and who she dating now cute. I'm like, why does she get so much attention? I guess is my question.
I mean, I think it's obviously partly because she's Steve Harvey's daughter.
That's not even his real daughter.
Not even his real daughter. I mean, she's a rich young black woman, you know, so I think that's part of it. Like, there's the idea that, you know, she has her own situation, I think makes her more attractive. You know, it's not like she has some manager in the background or like, you know, the sugar daddy in this case is Steve Harvey, is her real father. So I think there's some attraction there. I think she looks good, but not like you saying, like not knock your socks off, you know, beauty, Naomi Campbell, Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. Like Halle Berry dated a bunch of dudes in the 90s. Halle Berry was self-made. Like she had a very successful career. Right. Nobody put her on. She wasn't here because whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But Halle Berry was bad as shit. And so it's like, niggas was beating off the Viva Rock Vegas and shit, man.
Right.
The Flintstones shit.
The Flintstones. Yeah, shout out to that Swordfish scene. I had that movie on bootleg and I watched it just to see the titties.
Just to see the titties, man. That one in Monsters Balls, man. Monsters Balls?
Monsters Balls, not Monsters Balls. We definitely have some Monsters Balls in Balls. It's crazy. Niggas used to watch movies. I was thinking I used to watch Species 2 just to see the titties. There are certain movies that...
Oh, the whole premise of Knocked Up is that this nigga lives with his friends and they're all trying to start a startup like app or website where they track all the titties. So you just put in the name of the movie and it would tell you immediately 5:15 mark. And then again at the 35:14 mark.
Somebody should have did that. Somebody should have just...
I think they did because in the movie they said like this shit already exists. Like, word? Like, yeah, man, I showed you that website. Like, shit, we've been putting months in this.
Yeah, no, that's a genius concept. But yeah, I mean, Lori Harvey, she seems like a nice woman. You know, shout out to her. And then so the interesting thing about it to me is like the way internet discourse works. Like, I don't see a bunch of people coming at her on my timeline, right? But I see a bunch of people responding to people who came at her, or like to the imaginary person who came at her. It's like, why every time Lori Harvey breaks up with somebody, niggas want to say this and this and this. And it's like, who's saying that? I don't think anybody
I
really,
don't. Yeah, I
like,
don't
was
know,
tripping.
but I see people talking about it though.
Yeah, it's like,
And that's the weird thing.
like what? And then somebody, you know, reply like, oh, y'all talking about Lori Harvey, y'all should really be talking about Common. Well, I mean, I think it's kind of normal.
Who's Common fucking? I don't even see. That's the thing. Like, I don't even know who that nigga fucking.
I mean, you know, he's had a long list of celebrity girlfriends, basically, is what they're saying. It's like, okay, good for him. Like, I don't think either one is an issue. Niggas should just.
But am I tripping when I say that? Don't most celebrities have a bunch of celebrity dates?
Yeah, exactly.
They fuck each other all the time.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't understand why this new generation is like, it turns into discourse. This should just be People Magazine, like regular
Dog,
shit.
fucking Ben Affleck was fucking Jennifer Garner, Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Lopez.
I mean,
and brought it back, did another lap.
Right. Like Brad Pitt's, you know what I'm saying, run is legend. Like there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have had legendary. I mean, even Matthew Perry. I mean, and shout out to him, RIP. Like, I hope when I die, all my old joints have nothing but great Instagram posts to post. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he was such a sweet soul. Like, we kissed by the fireside that one night. Like,
oh, that's amazing. Like, to be in Hollywood and to have been there, and also knowing that nigga was a wild boy. Don't like he wasn't
don't get it twisted
either.
Yeah,
for like 1000% in this climate.
Yeah.
Now, one of these hoes to come out and say, and then he forced me to do cocaine off his cock. Like,
yeah. No, they were like, nah, we was with it. Like, it was all good times and sunshine. Like, yeah, no, he lived it up. Shout out to him, man.
Yeah, man. And shout out to him for sure. But it's just like it goes back down to the question of why do we give a fuck? Because I always be tripping. You know what happens also is like, truth be told, with this Lori Harvey thing, now that I think about it, it's a lot of women because they all wanted fucking Franklin from Snowflake or from Snowfall.
Not Snowflake.
Well,
that's an old.
I'm tripping today. Yeah. I called it Monsters Balls and Snowflake.
Old nigga shit.
Yeah, but the idea of
the women wanted like, him.
Yeah, and so that it's like kind of like on that level of like, yeah, you don't know how to treat a man and that. And I'm like, how you know this nigga? Because he got an accent? You think he just nice?
Right.
Like, come on, man.
Right. I think, and you know what the truth is? I think the attention to her is her roster. You know what I'm saying?
So she's had Michael B. Jordan,
Future.
I mean, Future. That's
right. Damson. You would have to look up the rest. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm sure it's a colder list.
Let's hold on. Let's look this shit up right here. Lori Harvey exes, more famous exes: Lori Harvey, Kim Kardashian, or Taylor Swift.
Ooh.
Like the funny thing is,
I mean, I think Kim might have niggas beat. Taylor Swift is up there though, because what she had, John Mayer.
She had John Mayer. She got Travis Kelce. Like the funny thing about like of the three. Not that anybody asked me, but
right.
Taylor Swift is fucking whack, man. Like, I mean, like the only reason I could see dating Taylor Swift is just to say, I'm fucking Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
that's exactly. That's the only. Like her name was Taylor Johnson, and she lived next door. I'm like, fuck out of here, man.
Right, but it's not. She's Taylor Swift, so.
But it's like, is this how hoes feel? Like we're like, I don't really like him, but I'll fuck him.
What do you mean? Of course. What do you mean? Like
it's funny because it's like literally like I can't say no. Like how can I say no? Taylor Swift come in like, hey man. Actually, I might have to say no because I can't have her be making songs about me. That's the shit that I'm not with, man.
Oh, I wouldn't give a flying.
For real? Or you think would it be like the nigga from Alabama whose girl pretended to be fucking kidnapped.
Which one?
Remember the girl that pretended to be kidnapped, and then it turned out she made it all up, and so her man, she's trying to get her man back.
That's
or
what I'm
whatever.
saying.
Like,
I think I would have a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, juice in the streets. Like, oh, Taylor was talking about him. He must be, you know what I'm saying, that guy.
Oh no, hold on. Now I'm seeing. Now I'm seeing some shit, man.
What?
So Lori Harvey. Okay, so like in reverse order, like Damson Idris. All right, cool. Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, why not? Nigga's a star, whatever. Future. That nigga gets around. Why not?
Yeah.
Diddy. Ugh. Oh my god.
Forgot about that.
And then before Diddy, Trey Songz. Man. She really did. And then before that, Memphis Depay. Oh my god, the Dutch the soccer player.
Oh, Memphis from was it no, Netherlands, right?
Yeah, he's Dutch. Yeah.
Dutch. Yeah.
So like I kind of could see like the Kim Kardashian, like I had to get through some shit first before I get to like now I'm dealing at these levels up here.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean Kim was cold. I mean the Ray J to Reggie Bush to Kanye, you know, it's just
hold on.
I mean, she had a bunch in between.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
No,
man.
for sure. She has some moves. I'm just saying that chessboard, like to move from that to that was kudos to her and Kris Jenner, the chief strategist over there, really doing her thing. I was gonna ask you, did you see the Pat Morita Red Fox impersonation video?
Yes, I did.
Bro, that shit was hilarious.
But you know what's funny is when you sent it, before I clicked it, I kind of could see, he kind of got that voice. I could see him doing the voice like that. And I'm like, all right, whatever. He probably like some funny shit. Then I clicked it. I was like, oh, damn, this nigga's talking about some real shit, man. Like some really real shit. Like,
like that's a surprise the video, right? Is that
but it is a little like it's weird to see someone do an impression, spot on impression as they're talking about some real shit.
Some real ass shit, right? He wasn't telling no jokes. He was like, this motherfucker really helped me out in a pinch. But I brought that up too because Red Fox used to rent an apartment from my grandfather back in the day.
No way.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So my grandfather had a building on Western, and before he blew up, he used to live there for like 2 years. And so it was funny because I showed my grandfather the video and he was laughing. And he was just like, yeah, I remember Red. And he was saying even that he was about to see him before he had a heart attack. Like he was like, yeah, I was about to go. I think he was somewhere in Vegas or something. And he was like, yeah, I'm about to, I was about to head out. And then we heard he had a heart attack and didn't know. And so then I looked it up, and which was crazy about Red Fox's death. I don't know if you know, he had a heart attack while he was on set.
Yep.
And people thought he was faking.
He was fucking around.
Because that was his
signature move.
Yeah. So imagine that, bro. You really dying for real. And niggas is like, ha, ha, ha.
No.
And that's it. That's crazy. That's a crazy. Comedians be having some crazy endings.
Nigga gotta have a safe word.
Right.
Bro, I was talking, it's wild, like, think about comedians, because I was talking about this yesterday. My homeboy Sidney Smith did his stand-up special yesterday here in Phoenix, so I went to that shit to go support. While we were there, we were talking about Bob Saget, Norm Macdonald, and then who was the third one? Like all these people who died like super recent,
right?
Stand-up comics, and all like on some weird shit, like dying in a hotel room.
Weirdly tragic, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like, how do you explain these? Like, I mean, even the overdoses, the Belushis and the Chris Farleys is crazy, but like
at least them niggas was like at the height of like crazy ass Hollywood,
right?
Like everything excess. No, although as I understand it, like Farley was actually trying to fucking get his life together at that point when it happened.
Yeah,
because I remember we did it on Cinephobe. We did Almost Heroes.
Yeah,
and that was like his last movie that he filmed.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about like in the trivia, like this motherfucker was like struggling to get his life together, and like was about to check into rehab and shit, and like
that's crazy.
Had one last hurrah or whatever.
Right.
Belushi was out of control. That nigga.
No, yeah, he was gone. But I mean, even Matthew Perry to add to the list, right? If you want to, like,
drowning in the hot tub, man. That's some sick shit.
I thought that was an interesting PR line. that they really came up with some new shit to put on TMZ, because it's like they trying to protect, like they'll really protect you if you got the right people around you, because they could have easily came out and said what it was, but they was like, oh no, he drowned in a hot tub, and like we'll come out 3 months later and tell you what the actual cause of death was. But like for right now, we want all his, everybody in Hollywood to be like, thank you, like for not doing that to him. I thought that like whoever ran that PR, kudos to you. You know what I'm saying?
It's a combination, bro. Like that. And again, none of the bitches came out and talked shit about it.
Yeah, right. So he had
that's an incredible
exit. Like,
whoever got his PR, that's who I'm hiring, man. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Speaking of which, like when you die and shit like that. So I shared the video in the chat the other day. Tisha Campbell.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch of her dad's videos. I saw the clip of it.
Her father passed away. This is the clip. Her father passed away. They done had the funeral, the burial, everything. And now her and her siblings are all going through his old stuff, kind of sorting out the stuff, getting his belongings together, whatever heirlooms need to be passed along. And in his stuff, my man had a stack of porn DVDs, bro. Like prime 2005, 2006 West Coast Productions with and originals. He wasn't burning copies or nothing. This man was paying at a time when we were like, we kind of like discovered like, yo, you can find this shit on LimeWire, man. Like the new fucking Beauty Dior tape. Like
no, he had from a nigga who used to burn CDs, he had the top of the CD spindle. He used to buy the pack of 100 CDs. Yep. He had the top of it upside down, filled with porn DVDs. So it had to be like 100 porn DVDs.
It was a crazy stack, and like the fucking titles, it was like white chicks for black dicks and like dark meat. It was it was the most cartoonish porn titles possible. Like this wasn't no very simple black.com or whatever. Like now this shit is all sleek.
It wasn't even booty talk. It was like
them niggas were hitting puns and everything. And also, I don't know if you noticed when she holds it up, the DVD label was such that like the hole would be like perfect placement. Like it'd be like it'd be a girl like leaning over and that shit would be right in the middle of her ass. Like or like her mouth open right where the dick would be, but
the hole is right there.
Which I found myself like obsessing over the nigga that sat there on fucking Photoshop. Like, all right, like got the template here, like no, zoom a little, crop here, boom, got it.
No, genius. Shout out to him. Shout out to all of the editors in the world.
For sure. But I say all that to say it brought up the question. Should niggas already have arrangements ready?
Oh, when
because
like the flushing down the drain. Like, hey man, when I go, just go over to the house.
Y'all need to torch that shit.
Tell my daughter, let you in my room. This is where it's at. You know what I'm saying?
This is the problem, right? This is the big issue. We are now in an era where all the crimes are digital. They can turn my room upside down. They ain't gonna find nothing.
Nothing.
They'll find like a box of rubbers,
right?
And like that's about it, really. Of like
maybe the Viagra stash. You know what I'm
saying? When I get to that age, probably, right?
Right.
But like my iCloud.
Oh yeah, that's
oh my God, man! Like my search history.
I don't really know if cats is getting to your search history because nobody really knows your passwords. So I think that's the built-in hack for that.
It's gonna torch everything. Like that's my main concern. Like I need everything to be torched. I don't want anyone to log in. Don't try. Where there's some family photos, I done shared all the family photos. Y'all have them. Y'all ain't got nothing that y'all don't already have.
Because that will happen. Like somebody will go through your phone, look, oh, does he have any pictures of him and his kid or
Yeah.
whoever?
Let's
You know?
let's find a good picture of
Yeah.
what's this? He's just
Yeah.
grandpa had titties and ass all throughout his phone over 40 years.
You got you got to use that hidden feature. Do you got the hidden? Do you
Of
got
course I
yeah,
use the hidden
hidden
feature,
Yeah.
man. Of
Yeah.
course I use the hidden feature. That's where the real shit goes down.
Exactly. It's like
But
bookmarks on
but
Twitter.
at the same time,
If
fuck, man,
somebody
like that.
saw if somebody saw I was thinking about that the other day. If anybody saw my bookmarks on Twitter, like if Elon if he wanted to start World War III, he would just make that public. Like,
That or fucking Zuckerberg with the like, because I'm gonna tell you this. Yeah, I found myself in a weird situation. I was like, I gotta get right with God.
mhm,
Because yesterday it's like I'm hanging out and these people here, local comics or whatever, like, oh shit, like follow me on Instagram. Cool.
mhm.
And I said, what's your Instagram? Oh, just hand me my phone and put it in there. And I was like, no. Because at first I was like, sure. Then I remember, because I'm like, they're not going to jump in your DMs or anything.
Right.
Like, they're just going to go right to the Explore page. Oh, no, not the Explore
Explore
page.
page.
Like, no.
Not the Explore page.
No.
See, luckily I do all of that on Twitter. My Instagram is very PG-13. I don't really, I go look once here or there, but I try to make sure it's a lot of inspirational videos, whatever, food pics. I try to mix mine up. So it's like only 26% is, you know what I'm saying, the big asses and all that. Like
I'm looking at it right now, and it's actually surprisingly tame. I got some basketball shit. I
right.
got some James Harden AI shit.
What? What's up with the Clippers, by the way? Like on the basketball level, what's your honest opinion of? Are they even a playoff team?
So I think I need to let me say this. Can it work? Yes, it can work. It's gonna need a lot more structure. I'm not talking about a lot more structure on both sides of the ball. Offensively, because I went to Clippers Nets last week and I watched a couple of Clippers games during the week. And so Clippers Knicks, Clippers Nets, Clippers Mavs. Offensively, everything they run is a high pick and roll or 1-4 flat. And it's just who's running it at that point. That's it. The mother niggas don't be moving or nothing. So it's like that ain't gonna work offensively. And it hasn't worked offensively. I thought at first, like, oh, that ain't gonna work like when you get to the playoffs, but that shit ain't even working in the regular season because niggas it's just too predictable. Niggas is like just packing up and walling up. The other thing is defensively, they want to start and play all four of those guys together with Zubac, which you could do because all four of those guys historically are better than average rebounders for guys their size. But that's all come in the context of, yeah, Russell Westbrook is a great rebounder. When he got Steven Adams there busting people's asses and shit like that, like they could just fly in or whatever. When you have a regular center and a regular power forward, you could do that shit. But none of them have that now. And Zubac isn't that great of a rebounder, that great of a box out guy.
Not at
in
all.
order to create that kind of attention for them to be able to grab easy rebounds. Like, no, this is what you got to do this shit like from fucking high school where you got to put a body on somebody every possession. And they got to be on a what they call on a rope or whatever. Like everyone's helping the helper. They're not doing any of that shit. No. And yeah, they haven't had any practice time. They've been on the road. So I'm excusing some of that for now, but it's like, y'all better have a plan in place. Because again, we all know vets don't like to practice. Like you don't have that luxury. Y'all ain't gonna be able to just play and figure this out. Now,
yeah, go ahead.
It's the 26:30 mark. Let me text Jerv right now. There's a bossa nova happening.
Okay,
right now.
Yeah,
but it's funny. People was asking me. All right, I guess we're back now.
Yeah,
and we're back. Well, actually, we're back from when we just started talking about my man from the Mavs, right?
Yeah.
So people were asking me, yo, what do you think? I'm like, what's up? What I think? The nigga just said facts. He didn't, like, the only opinion thing he said, and I kind of disagree, is he said, when this shit doesn't work, you're going to try and swipe right on a different team, but ain't nobody going to swipe right on you. and it's gonna be done. And I'm like, no, I feel like this nigga still got like 3 or 4 more teams in him.
He got at least 2. He got at least 2.
Because like teams are desperate, man. Let's be real. Like teams are desperate, and there's an old NBA saying, it only takes one asshole, right? The clean version is it only takes one, but the actual saying is it only takes one asshole, meaning like, yo, you don't have to have 29 teams after you.
Right.
Oh, it takes one asshole. Like fucking, hey, who's gonna draft Robert Swift in the top 10? It doesn't matter. Or Hasheem Thabit number 2 overall, right? It doesn't matter that all the league was like, this nigga's a second rounder. All it took is one asshole to be like, you know what? I'll take him second. That shit fucked up the whole 2009 draft because everyone was banking on this guy's gonna go, and that means we're gonna have this guy available. And then as soon as Thabit went, it pushed everything down. Like, oh, for us, we're like, we got a chance at Steph Curry. Yeah. Oh shit! So
yeah, and I think it was crazy too because he put Harden Biz out there that I didn't even really know like
about the flying to Vegas.
Yeah, like
I'm gonna tell you what, that nigga was flying to the Bahamas,
right in the middle of the season.
Yeah, man, like just like on some, not even like we got 5 days off. Yeah. Like we played it like on Monday we play, on Tuesday we got a day off, on Wednesday we play again. This nigga on the Tuesday gonna go down to the Bahamas or go to fucking Vegas and shit. Like, so that's some like,
yeah,
I get it. Like you can say, well, I get my job, I get my work done or whatever. But at some point, man, you're opening yourself up to like, if this shit don't work, then niggas won't care. They just gonna point at that, right? It's that thing that you got to kind of, rightly or wrongly, you're dealing with like reputation. You're fighting reputation, and when because this is a sport where almost every year you failed, right? Like when we talk about superstars,
right?
Like this nigga Steph Curry's got 4, but he's played. This is his 15th year.
Yeah.
4 out of 15, right?
Yep.
LeBron, he's got 4, but he's played 21. So you're always gonna, unless you Magic Johnson, where it's just like, every year I'm doing.
Yeah.
Everyone's dealing with like a shit ton of failure. The last thing you want to do is give them a reason, like an easy reason to shit on you. Not because, man, the West is hard, or, man, like my teammates, like, got hurt, whatever. They'll be like, no, nigga, because you out here doing this shit, man.
No, and that's a fucked up thing, because even in Bro's rant, like he skipped past all, Chris Paul getting hurt, the Rockets playing better teams, like all of that gets lumped up into you couldn't do it now. You know what I'm saying? Now it's the narrative instead of like looking at it for what it really was year by year. Like you're saying, most people is not going to get it done. Most guys is not going to get rings like that. But James now has a narrative because he got all this other shit with him, And so that's the funny thing too, is that you look back at certain guys like Rodman who end up with a bunch of rings, decided to like play more deferential roles. They got older. I mean, you could look at Metta World Peace, Iguodala, other cats. Like, and I think James, like, and Russell Westbrook, both, their original sin is feeling like I'm the man. So instead of realizing like, look, bro, if you just play a deferential role on a good team, like maybe y'all could really get somewhere. But niggas don't feel like that.
At the same time, I'm glad you brought up Russ.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, when their careers are over, people are gonna say, you know what? Russ could have deferred, but that motherfucker left it all out there. He gonna walk around and people are gonna respect his career.
Right.
They might especially as time goes by. In the moment, people always shit up, oh, this nigga shoot too much, all that shit. But over time, same thing with Iverson. It's like now, no, you can't find a single person saying bad shit about Iverson.
Right.
When the nigga's playing, oh, he's inefficient, he's this, oh, he won't accept a lesser role, whatever. So I think Russ, as time goes by, people are gonna respect him again, and he's gonna be remembered fondly.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case with James, man.
Like, but I'll say this though, like, and as they were playing the Clippers, I was talking to the homie, and he was mentioning how Luka says that, he admired James Harden and he got a lot of his game from James Harden.
Yeah, he did.
James kind of pioneered a style of basketball. That step back, that dribble through
He did.
that Euro, like all of that stuff.
I'm not saying what he did do. I'm saying what he's gonna be remembered for.
Right.
They're not gonna remember him for the greatness. They're gonna remember him for the shenanigans. In the same way that, like, I think Lamar Odom was as great a player as you can be without ever being an all-star, all NBA. But like, this is one of them dudes where it's like super talented, super versatile, great teammate, help win championships. But his lasting legacy is Stephen A. Smith, who was on crack. Like, that's how he's gonna be remembered.
Right.
And it's fucked up, but it's like, nigga, that's why you gotta kind of keep your shit together.
Right.
Image-wise.
Chloe also got a crazy roster. Getting back to
that's another one where the come up, right? Because she started with, remember who she started with?
Who?
Rashad McCants. That was number one.
Wow.
And he got like the version 1.0.
Yeah.
Factory everything.
Yeah.
None of the upgrades or updates, any of that, right? So, but yeah, man, it's like this is it matters. Like, I know motherfuckers think they make mad money and they do whatever the fuck they want, whatever shit don't matter. That shit matters, man. It matters how you remember Steve Francis, man.
Right.
That nigga's, here's the crazy thing. Steve Francis, everyone thinks that nigga's broke. That nigga rich, man. Like, he's got all his money because he invested in like real estate in downtown Houston and shit. Like, that he's doing well for himself, money-wise. Health-wise, he looks crazy, right?
He looks terrible.
And so, like, that's what people think about. They don't think about, like, oh no, it's actually the niggas.
What was in the water in Houston? Because fucking Cuttino Mobley got gray real early too. What's going on?
I saw him at the Big Three in Dallas like 3 years ago. I think it might have been 4 years ago, before pandemic. And I was shocked because the nigga looks so old.
Nigga look old as fuck. He looks like
white.
60.
That shit is white. It's not gray. It's just white.
Yeah.
Nigga look. I mean, his hair is whiter than fucking Red Fox's was. Red Fox at least had some grays and some dark patches. This thing was just straight white.
You want to go to the R&B shit or what?
Before we go to R&B shit, I just want to do this one last sports story. Did you see the dude
from Michigan?
Did you see that shit, man?
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Hold on, man. I gotta play this shit because I can't do it justice. Let's see.
On the road, in this environment, when there were doubts, sure, what does it mean to you?
Well, I thank the Lord. Well, I thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man. This is for you. For this university, the president, our AD, we got the best players, best university, best alumni in the country. Love you guys. These fucking guys right here. These guys right here, man. These guys did it. These guys did it, man. On to him, man. Love you.
Thank you. On the road.
Dog. First of all, that nigga's never gonna get a head job anyway.
Anywhere.
Like, nigga, you won one game, man. Like, I get it. It's a big game on the road or whatever.
Yeah.
But you got to just be like, you know what? We have a next man up mentality, like, and our players really responded, and we wanted to win this for Coach Harbaugh, whatever. You can't be this.
He was having a Rudy moment. Like, that nigga was having an existential crisis. And then he said, I love you to the reporter at the end. Yeah. Like, who was that last? I love you. He loved everybody. Everybody loved everybody. Nah, man. Yeah.
Do you remember the movie Can't Hardly Wait?
Oh, I love that movie. That's one of my favorite.
Do you remember
90s movies?
The reminiscing guy in Can't Hardly Wait is a black dude.
Yeah.
Nigga talked exactly the same way. Hold on.
Glad I got a chance to see you. I know you're leaving tomorrow. I'm gonna miss you, man, you know? Okay, man, don't worry about it. I mean, I was like, totally remember the time that we were in the 7th grade and you like matched all our food on our lunch trays and you paid me $1 to eat it? And I did. It was the best.
It's the same nigga, man. Like, Preston Myers.
Oh man, what a great
you can't
movie.
go out like that. Oh man, like I felt so because I didn't know. Van Lathan posted the clip
Yeah,
and his caption was ha 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 ha. It was just laughing.
yeah,
So I was like, what the fuck happened? Did someone like try to dump the shit and then he missed and put it on the reporter? Like,
right.
what
right.
happened?
Yeah,
And when my nigga started talking, he said, I love you, man. I was like, oh God, no.
oh
Dog,
man,
he's got to do this for the rest of the season.
yeah.
It's not a one-time thing.
Oh, so how long is Harbaugh suspended?
He's done for the rest of the year. He
For the
can't coach
season?
enough for the regular season. Like if they get to the playoffs, which they're
gonna
doing great or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they only
then
got
that's
only
different,
like
'cause-
2 more games then.
that's what I'm
Right.
saying though, man. Like you got the Big Ten championship game and shit. Like,
Right, yeah. What is he gonna do during the Big Ten champion? I mean, oh man, that's embarrassing. Yeah, Ryan Day is gonna run it up on them
dog, like
for sure.
we running that clip over and over. If you're Ohio
Yeah.
State, you gotta
Yeah,
run
for
that
sure.
shit. Hey man, you gonna lose to this?
Yeah, definitely.
You gonna lose to this? Ryan Day White. Nah, man, like that
Yeah.
shit is crazy, bro.
Nah, he's
I,
crazy.
they're like, y'all thought fucking the Oregon coaches pregame speech before they played Colorado was fucking
right. Was
out of bounds for you non-sports people. Like, oh, I can't believe it or something. I'm like, do you know what these niggas be saying in locker rooms before the game? Say all the time. I can't wait. I hope somebody leaks that shit. These niggas gotta go in on him, man.
But you know what's funny is like at the end of the day, as much as we hate coach speak, that's all we really want. Like we don't want niggas to do nothing else.
Bro, I
Just
say
give me
this
the-
all the time. I say this all the time, man. I always have 2 hats on. I got my fucking like basketball hat where I'm like, why you saying that shit? Nigga? Just say like it's the script that's been written for you for generations. This, that, we respect them. Oh my God, but we all came together and mixed, man. Like it's mad, coach. It's there for a reason.
Right.
But like from like we niggas that talking to a microphone for a living thing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, nigga, I want that real shit. I want you crying, acting like a bitch, and
Right.
it makes my. It's like when James went up in the press conference, James Harden,
Oh,
and said,
I am the system.
"I am the system." Like the basketball, I mean, like nigga, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Day one, just fucking chill. Be like, I'm excited to be here and win, and I'm excited to come home.
Yeah.
But like the nigga that works doing radio and podcasts, I'm like, yes, nigga, keep talking. Keep saying dumb shit. Like
Speaking of coach speak, I think it's crazy, bro. And also speaking about niggas who pass away, how people responded to Bobby Knight passing away, and how niggas was just like, you know what? We didn't really fuck with Cuz. Like everybody kind of like it was a general, and nobody had to say it. Nobody was on the internet talking shit about him or anything. It was just like the Sports Center thing was very cute and quick, and all the podcast nigga was had their little segment and moved on about the day. You know what I'm saying?
Dog,
for a nigga who did so much for basketball and so much with the game, but like niggas did not fuck with Cuz.
so this is what happened to me. This shit happened, and we went on air on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
And my man starts the show with this long ass like Coach Knight, and he grew up in Minnesota. I was a Minnesota fan, so we played Indiana all the time, and all the heartbreak and the victories and the Coach Knight. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, what do you think? And I was like, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, I wasn't watching college basketball like that. For me, college basketball, I was watching college basketball. It was literally March Madness to see who was gonna be in the NBA. Oh, Michigan got some niggas. All right, cool. Like, there's a guy at UCLA got a squad. Oh, like I can't wait to see Baron Davis in the league or whatever. But like, I wasn't out here like Jerv with Coach K and shit, acting like that's my daddy and shit. I didn't know these coaches. I didn't really care. College basketball is for the most part really boring to me. I cared just about like who's coming to the NBA. So I didn't know. I was like, yo, I'm gonna be honest. I don't watch any college basketball, and so like my memories of Coach Knight are literally when he choked the nigga in practice, because I remember that was big news.
Yeah.
And when he came back from this is the realest shit ever. He came back from the suspension for choking the motherfucker on campus at practice. He's walking on campus, and some dipshit kid says, "Hey, what's up, Knight?" And motherfucker grabbed him by his arm. It's like, "It's either Mr. Knight or Coach Knight. You don't just call me Knight." And I'm like, man, you know how out of control you got to be? Where motherfuckers not like, "Now, Coach, this is pretty much you on eggshells." Got it. Walk out the room like, "Hey, you little nigga, what's
Just
going on?"
grab a nigga up like the next
And I'll
day.
never forget the nigga, because I was in college at the time when that shit happened. So I remember that nigga was on Sports Center. Like, and then and I'm like, you know what, man? I wish that nigga would have punched him. He deserves he's a little shit for sure.
Yeah.
But also, Bobby, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
So like, but again, in the context of this man just passed away, these are not like, this is not input I can give
right.
to a national audience. Like, well, I mean, what do you remember, Coach? I remember when that little piece of shit, da da da. I also remember them niggas when he Texas Tech, them niggas was boring as shit. Held the ball and shit. Also, I remember that nigga cut Charles Barkley from fucking Team USA. Like,
he did?
Yeah, man. He like the 84 team that he coached.
Yeah.
That won the gold medal at LA.
Mm-hmm.
The last two cuts were literally Charles Barkley and fucking my man John Stockton.
Wow.
And he kept like Steve Alford or some other piece of shit from his fucking, because he went to college. It's some dumb shit. Now, on the flip side, I got to give him props for one thing. In 1984, they got the
Michael Jordan clip.
Yeah,
that was the only reason I really brought this up, because the Michael Jordan clip was some of the hardest shit ever, and I had to retweet that motherfucker because I was like, "You a real nigga for that?" Because you probably said nigga too. You was definitely one of them motherfuckers that said some shit about niggas, but you saw that nigga and you was like, he got that dog in it.
You gotta remember, this is a guy who like thought NBA basketball was bullshit, and the game is played 800 passes and hold the ball and like, oh, this showboating playground, should get that nigga shit out of here. Like you said, he
exactly.
probably you didn't say he probably thought that shit, right?
Yeah.
But and yet that nigga was like, nah, that motherfucker got it.
Yeah, like,
that's like, and that's a level of greatness. Like when people talk about like, is Victor Wembanyama ever? And like, nah, man. Like there's another gear to this shit where the people who will be your biggest haters before the shit even happened already said, think about that shit. Before the nigga played one NBA minute, that nigga said,
like
you got it.
Yeah, if I had to start a team with anybody, it's him. I mean, I feel like LeBron might be one of the few other people. I don't know. Who else do you think that you know?
By the way, let me just say real quick, the motherfuckers that made the team 1984, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go from smallest to biggest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Steve Alford, like I said, fuck out of here, just because he went to Indiana. Leon Wood made the team, man. The referee, Leon Wood.
The referee.
Yes, Leon Wood made the team. Alvin Robertson, he's a real one. All right, cool. Vern Fleming, again, he was a real one. Michael Jordan, Chris Mullin, Sam Perkins, Wayman Tisdale. Them niggas was doing work in college.
Yeah.
Jeff Turner was doing work in college. Joe Klein, Patrick Ewing, John Koncak. Joe Klein and John Koncak. John Koncak went to Southern Methodist, man. You can't tell me that nigga was doing work. No chance.
I don't know 3 or 4 of these niggas.
Fucking,
I remember they was all college kids back then. This is pre.
Yeah, I mean, like these all college kids, but like Alvin Robertson was one of the great defensive players of the 80s. Yeah. Vern Fleming was like a buckets guy. He played for Golden State. Okay. Chris Mullin, obviously, Sam Perkins,
Yeah.
Wayman Tisdale.
Obviously, I know Wayman Tisdale. I got a Wayman Tisdale basketball card.
Jeff Turner.
I don't remember him.
Jeff Turner, he was like a regular ass nigga in the NBA, but like he got busy in college.
Yeah.
And then Joe Klein and John Koncak, 2 big white guys. That's it. That's all they brought to the table. So it's like, you could have, like, for sure, you could have found a spot for Stockton.
Right. Hey,
over Alford.
It's funny the development of the NBA, because I remember like big white guy was kind of like a position in the NBA that's almost been phased out. We got like Mason Plumlee, but like there's not a lot of just
Mason Alex Len keeping that
Alex Len keeping that
torch alive.
Yeah. But big white guy in the NBA was a subgenre that was really popular. That's like, it's gone almost. You want to get into the R&B shit?
Yeah, let's get into it. I got it right in front of me here, courtesy of the high priestess of the Sunday sermon, Naima Cochran, our homegirl. She's talking about, there's been a thing going around about what was the best decade in hip hop, and we could do that too if you want to, but it inspired her to have what's the best era in R&B. And so it's 1980s or later, so we're not counting like Aretha Franklin and shit. She's got A, Quiet Storm, which I guess would be early to mid 80s. B, New Jack Swing, late 80s, early 90s. C, Hip Hop Soul, 90s, basically. And D, Neo Soul, which is the 2000s. And Jason, you're the music expert here. I'm going to defer to you first.
Okay, so does Sade count as R&B?
Sade counts. Sade, I think, will be Quiet Storm.
Yeah.
Even though obviously she released music all throughout, but like her style was very Quiet Storm, contemporary R&B.
I think it's neck and neck between Quiet Storm and Hip Hop Soul.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm a lean Quiet Storm.
Really?
Yeah, because you got the end of the old niggas. So you got the end of the Smokies and the Marvins and Luther. Luther's kind of right in the mix of that.
Yeah, but his style was still even as he, again, like Sade, even as he continued to release music, it was still that style. Like that nigga wasn't doing like collabs with
right, but that's what I'm saying. And I'm thinking of it as like putting an NBA, like all-star, I'm putting Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Sade. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my starting backcourt.
Whitney, I'm a push back on Whitney.
Where does she fall? Is she not R&B?
She's not R&B.
She's not R&B. She got a couple of R&B and jams though.
I guess, man. Like she doesn't have, like, Michael had a whole ass R&B album.
Right. Okay.
Like,
so maybe
Whitney was an R. So like to me, Whitney would have R&B track in the same way that Michael on Thriller has like PYT is an R&B track.
Right.
But like that's a pop album, right?
Right. Okay, so maybe Whitney's not on there, but we could go, Aretha, obviously. I mean, not Aretha.
Yeah.
No, Anita
Baker. Yeah.
Anita Baker.
Patti LaBelle.
Who else?
Shit, man. Let me consult my 80s playlist, bro. Because
I mean Prince, right?
Prince,
because he's got to be somewhat R&B. He's got pop songs,
but he wasn't Quiet Storm though. Like he was, but like his shit was just on some other shit. You got the Pointer Sisters, you got the Mary Jane Girls, you got
I got some oldies playlists too.
You got New Shoes, who I discovered was white. Did not know that until way too late. You got Lisa and the Cult Jam.
I'll Be Sure.
Denise Williams, I'll Be Sure. Philip Bailey. Yes, no.
Patrice Rushen.
Like Earth, Wind, and Fire, obviously.
You got Soul to Soul.
Ready for the World. Evelyn King.
Loose Ends.
Rick James.
Fucking. I think calling it the Quiet Storm era kind of makes it tricky because this isn't all Quiet Storm music. Yeah. But like that era of R&B had a lot of jams. And that's kind of what I'm saying.
Angela Winbush.
Right. A lot of jams, a lot of hip hop sample songs, a lot of
Tume.
Yeah, it was a lot of joints. But the hip hop soul era, it was kind of slaying. You know what I'm saying? It was killing shit.
Let me tell you right now, man. I'm gonna say it like this.
Yeah.
You talk about mega hit crossover hits without crossing over the sound.
Yeah.
Right. In the words of Jay-Z, I ain't crossover about the suburbs to the hood. Like that fucking 90s R&B, man. All that shit was fucking monstrous, man. Hey, man, look, R. Kelly.
Right. Shut the conversation down.
Just everything. The whole decade. I get it. He's an awful person. But like musically, not only did he put out bangers, but he was
He was
producing and writing for everybody. And by the way, it's some niggas that was from the pre-1980s that got into the 1980s Quiet Storm and then transitioned into hip hop soul and beyond. It's the Isley Brothers. And that transition happened because they started working with R. Kelly.
Yep.
That's now. Let me say this: what's your least favorite?
Least favorite? Okay. What was the other? It's New Jack.
It's New Jack and Neo Soul. I'll tell you, it's easy for me.
It's
Fucking Neo Soul, Philly ass niggas, man. Oh my God, wearing brown all the time and
everything is brown. Everything is tan and brown, and
that's where all that Grand Rising bullshit came from. All the hoteps, it all came out of that shit. Oh, Trey's in here. Damn, but I think Jerv's already on his flight. So,
but we got some cuts though in the Neo Soul. Like there's
some cuts, but
Erykah Badu had a very strong career.
She did.
You know,
she stands out.
I love Jill Scott. There was a bunch of like cool little singles. I feel like, you know, the Dwelle, the Glenn Lewis, Dave Hollister. You know, like there was a lot.
You're saying that, and I'm thinking about niggas with big suit jackets, and button-up shirts, and sweaters over the button-up shirt,
right?
And a hat, and it's never like a regular hat. It's always got to be like one of them Kangol, like cabbie hats, or some shit like that, or a fedora.
But there's niggas who jumped eras too, like Raphael Sadiq. I'm thinking about came in New Jack, and then
did hip hop soul,
and then Neo Soul. He went all the way through. So you know, D'Angelo, where he kind of hip hop soul to Neo Soul. So,
but my favorite shit is the fucking hip hop soul shit. So
yeah, no, I agree. But I think it's some niggas that's in the Neo Soul that started off hip hop soul that I really fuck with. But yeah, the Neo Soul could go definitely out of all of the genres.
It's the thing, like the New Jack Swing is probably got the least replay value unless you're
because of the drums.
The drum set, man. This shit is just
it's dated
like
as fuck.
Fucking listening, it feels good, man. I'm like, oh man, like I can't play this shit. I can play it by myself, but like I can't be like in the car, like, yeah, it feels good. But man, Autumn, the total fucking remixes,
Case,
Can't You See, and all that shit with In Vogue, all the like Brownstone, Escape.
Yep.
Even like the one-hit wonders from the 90s, man, like it's crazy. You go to the 90s R&B, goddamn, let me look here. Fucking Sunshine Anderson, heard it all before. That shit is a banger, man. Tweet, oops, oh my.
Yeah, this is like early 2000s, like 99, 2000. Yeah.
That's 90, like I'm kind of 90s.
Yeah.
Adina Howard.
Oh yeah,
fucking Groove Theory.
Oh yeah.
Janae.
Is that
Janae? Yep. Fucking where is it? Yvette Michelle, Allure. Allure didn't really. Now in retrospect, I'm like, they didn't have any business being, but they did. They had a couple of hits. Avon, and he's one that went and came back.
Oh, Avant, yeah. He had some shit. I fuck with Avant.
City High.
They had a couple. What was that? That was Wyclef's group.
That was Wyclef. He was smashing Claudette Ortiz, man.
Shout out to him, man.
Shout out to her. Still single?
Right.
702, 3LW. All them little groups, man, that didn't really do shit, but like
they had a couple hits.
They had hits, man.
Yeah.
Fucking so I don't know. Like 90s R&B to me is always gonna be that's my heart. I'm with you. I got like a deep appreciation for the 80s shit, particularly because a lot of them 90s songs were sampling the 80s songs. So
exactly.
It's hard not to have that respect there.
Yeah.
New Jack. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, because you know, getting older, like you kind of go back to shit. And then I feel like the 80s has the most replay value because it's not that super noisy. It's very soulful. The beat is easy. You know what I'm saying? Smooth. It's a jam. You could put it on anywhere, you know?
Even like their fucking party tracks, man.
Yeah. Cuts.
I mean, it's some shit that goes, man. It goes. It always goes.
Yeah.
New Jack got no replay, but I still like it. Like it's happy music. That's the
It
thing about
is.
New Jack. Like there wasn't no like fucking my baby left me, New Jack. There was no heartbreak. Them niggas are just happy all the time.
It was Motown Philly. Niggas.
And you know what the poster child for neo soul is for me forever?
What?
Every time someone says neo soul, I always think about the same person. I always think of the same song. Music Soul Child. I don't wanna friends, you could just be friends. I'm like, shut the fuck up, nigga. I'm not trying to be no friends.
What about
I got friends.
What about Bilal? Because that's the first person I think of. Bilal and Dwele are the
wearing
two
them fucking knit hats.
Yeah, Bilal and Dwele are the two people. When you say neo soul, their avatar just pops up into my head.
And it's yes, but also I blame these motherfuckers for influencing the Talib Kweli's and the Mos Defs, who should have been rapping a lot harder.
Yeah,
I'm not saying the subject matter should have been untrue to themselves, but like them niggas have cuts where it's like, yeah, nigga, rap like that. What you doing? They're just fucking because they just getting high with these fucking neo soul
pontificating with niggas. Yeah,
and bitches too.
And you know what I'm saying. So speaking of neo soul and hip hop soul and all that, Lauryn Hill recently performed.
The realest, that's a realest nigga on earth right there, man.
So I share a birthday with Lauryn Hill. So I'm always like keyed into her shit. So Lauryn Hill, Lenny Kravitz, Miles Davis, Pam Grier, and John Wayne, oddly enough.
God damn, that nigga. I know he mad.
Yeah, exactly. Like all these niggas. But yeah, she got on stage and basically told her fans, like, y'all niggas is lucky that I even show up to the show that you pay for.
She got on stage late
and told niggas
late on stage, and motherfuckers were complaining, and she said,
you niggas is lucky I even pulled up to this raggy motherfucker.
She went Alonzo from goddamn Training Day.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Putting cases on all you bitch. Yeah, but no, she's wild for that, bro. I mean, yeah, she's a real nigga, but also she's a real nigga. Like that's some real nigga shit.
I'm gonna tell you why I totally respect it as a real nigga move.
Yeah.
Because it is November 2023.
Yeah.
And people are still paying money to go see Lauryn Hill in concert with an expectation that she's gonna show up on time. We are 25 years deep into this shit, ladies and gentlemen. What makes you think she changed? Like, to me, if you're going to Lauryn Hill concert, this what is what I would say? I would say, number one, make sure you eat like a nice, heavy, greasy meal. Number two, pace yourself with the alcohol, right? Like maybe White Claw it up,
right?
But until the first hour,
yeah,
until like the first hour and a half, she's late,
right?
And then maybe start escalating, like, but like this idea that people are like, Lauryn Hill was, yeah, man, that's what she does. That's like,
she's part of the show at this point.
Yeah, it could be any more on brand.
Right.
Like you better be there with a group of friends or like someone that you just enjoy being around,
right?
And y'all could crack jokes and do whatever. And by the way, this shit reminds me of one of my favorite fucking NBA stories. When Tracy McGrady got on the Jump, the first episode he did on the Jump, which I believe was the first episode of the Jump, Rachel Nichols was like, the future Hall of Famer. And he was like, what? And I'm like, motherfucker, you going to the Hall of Fame. And that wasn't an act. Tracy truly did not think he was going to be a Hall of Famer. And we're like, what are you talking about? Like the scoring titles, all NBA, like all the shit you've done. Of course you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. So the call comes and it's like, he's going to the Hall of Fame. And everyone's like, great. So his wife wants to throw him a surprise party, congratulating him on being inducted. She put in extra work. I don't know how she found my email. She emailed me like, hey, can you make it? Like everybody, she's doing all this shit, getting people. We're going to Houston. We're going to do it at the Marriott Marquis in Houston, which is on the rooftop. They got this lazy river that looks like the state of Texas. If you're in a hotel room, you look down, it looks like a map of the state of Texas. It's kind of dope, whatever. But like, don't tell Tracy. No, he can't know y'all are here, whatever. So we all flew out there. We got there. Niggas had a big screen up and was playing his highlights and shit at a DJ. And I'm talking about everybody from his life was there. Jeff Van Gundy was there. Rafer Alston was there. Vince, like everybody was there, right? And so they were waiting. Okay, we got the text. She said they're in the elevator now. They walk up, they walk out, and our shit is all the way at the end. So it's like you don't really see what's happening until you get closer. And as he's coming closer, he's like, he started noticing, what are y'all doing? And then, surprise, and everything, like everyone's like cheers in and shit. And then like the shit died down for a second, and Tracy was like, so is there a Lauryn Hill concert? Because that's what she told him. She told him we're going to a Lauryn Hill concert. And so he's like, so they pull up to the hotel and she tells him, let's get a drink first because you know she's gonna be late. And so he's like, oh, I guess that makes sense. So they go like to this rooftop to the bar, and when he walks out, everybody's there.
That's
and like,
hilarious.
But the funniest shit is my man was like, this is great, but also like, is she in concert or not?
Because I was kind of hyped for the concert. Like, it's good to see you guys, but I'm trying to see this once in a life. It's like seeing the Loch Ness Monster.
For real, man. Would you pay to go see Lauryn Hill at this point?
Jeez, how much?
How much are Lauryn Hill tickets going for? I don't know. Look, this is what
I have a threat. To answer your question, yes, but I have a threshold. Like if it was any more than like $60.
Okay. No, it's gonna be more. It's funny. I'm looking at the StubHub thing and it says buy now to avoid disappointment. I'm like, a little too late for that. Let's see. Okay. You are in LA. So Ontario. She's in Ontario, November 16th. Let's see what the tickets are saying. Okay. Accept and continue. Yeah. Okay. Get in price is about $69 in the 200 section. You want to be in the 100 section, it's about $99. If you want to be on the floor, $129. That's the starting price.
Yeah, I'm cool.
And then
I'm not doing that.
$179 to be in the pit.
Yeah, because there's too much of a chance that it's not gonna happen.
That she might not show up. Like that. It's not just being late. Like she might just be like,
she might just not come. And then Praz is still showing up, even though that nigga's supposed to be in jail.
Yo, the crazy thing about Lauryn Hill, man, is like I think about Lauryn Hill a lot when I think about NBA players that blow up too fast.
Yeah.
Right? In that Lauryn Hill was part of the Fugees, which was like this great group, and they had their first album. First album was dope, and then the second album comes out. The second album is for a long time like the number one selling hip hop album of all time.
Yeah.
And it crosses over and it blows her up into this space where it's like, oh shit. Right? Like it went from like I can go down the block to go get a cheeseburger to now
everybody knows what it is.
Yeah, like in the same way like the Britney Spears documentary where she's like, I can't go to Starbucks. No, bitch, you can't go to Starbucks. Like that's over for you.
Yeah.
But then she puts out her solo album.
Yeah.
And I would say the Fugees shit was cool. It was dope. It was apolitical.
Yeah.
But then her solo album is such a like personal fucking thing, and she's talking about very black issues on this.
Yeah.
And then she's like, we're going on tour, and she's like, I'm showing up to the arena, and it's like 20,000 white people. And it broke her fucking brain, bro.
Yep.
Like, I mean, remember she was like, I don't make my music for those people. And that was a big fucking controversy.
Yeah.
Those people made you diamond or whatever. But it's like, I get what she's saying, man.
Yeah, that's not who this is about. That's not who this is for. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about Lauryn Hill. Like, I was a super fan of hers. I remember buying her album. Actually, I remember asking my grandmother for $20, and she was like, "Yeah, if you clean the house, I'll give you $20." And I took that $20 and bought Lauryn Hill's album. So I've been a fan of hers for a very long time. That story reminds me of Dave Chappelle and what he says will happen to him on the Chappelle show. And I think it's a very similar thing where like you said, you do this great thing, you know, and it's encapsulates everybody. It moves out of your subgenre, and then it starts to touch other people. And
which has to be weird, by the way, for someone who you're already famous.
Yeah.
Like, hey, nigga, you about to be like famous. Like, I'm famous. What you talking about? Like, no,
Right.
nigga, like it's another level.
Right. And doing something that's more personal. Like even Chappelle's thing is like his stand-up is kind of a little more broad, but the show is kind of very black specific jokes and like very much in jokes of how we talk and yo son and you know Donnell Rollins and all that, Ashley Larry, all them Tyrone Biggums, all these is just like black jokes. And the fact that that's the shit that sent you over the line, you know, is crazy. Same with Lauryn Hill, is like the fact that, you know, to Zion and you know, these are the songs, you know, she's got the school children skits and shit where it's like this is a very, very black, you know, album.
Dude, even like think about like the biggest song on that album was fucking Doo-Wop, right?
Yeah.
The shit that she's talking about is a very black song.
Yeah. Even she's talking about hair weave done by European, like she's talking shit on that song, but it's like, so you don't, as an artist, I can imagine you thinking, oh, I'm making an introspective personal album, you know, might go gold, you know what I'm saying, whatever, I'm gonna do my thing, get away from the Fugees, and then to have that supersede that, and it has to, you know, even that aspect. And then, you know, they said she has so many issues with the people who actually co-wrote it. And
there's a lot of like, but that's the music industry.
Right. And so I think like she kind of got caught up in that music industry thing where she thought she was just going to be an artist and make music and have this, and then realize like, well, now these people don't fuck with you, so you got to find new producers. You had that situation with Wyclef's, so you have to find new producers after that. So, and she probably was just like, man, I don't feel like doing that shit, you know? And that's kind of the vibe I get from her overall, is like, she wanted to make music. She wanted to be an artist. She was an actress, right? She was in Sister Act 2. Like, she wanted to do all that shit. And after she accomplished it, and there was like a lot of bullshit in front of her doing other shit, she was like, I don't even need to do that. Like, for what?
I don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah, I don't even want to play this game anymore. Like, I already won. Like, what's the win in me doing that? And so then that's kind of what because I was so frustrated with Dave Chappelle for a long time. And I think he helped me reach that conclusion. Because I was like, man, why wouldn't he do a Chappelle show, season 3,
season
man?
4 or whatever,
Season 3 for us, man. We love him. We love everything, every skit he does. Like, why wouldn't he just, when he came back, you know, somebody's going to give him $50 million to do it. Just do it with somebody you like, you know? But it was like, he already won. And he didn't feel like he needed to play the game at that point anymore. Obviously, he came back. But, you know, and then.
But he came back under completely his
different
own.
Yeah, his own.
Like, I don't have to deal with the structure.
Right.
Like the infrastructure of Hollywood.
Yeah.
In his case, in her case, with the infrastructure of the music industry. Like, I don't want to deal with it. Like, I think, and that's a part I think a lot of people struggle to understand, is like, how could someone who is so great at this thing not want to keep making compromises in their life in order to keep doing that thing? Right? It's kind of like fucking Barry Sanders saying, you know what?
Like,
y'all got it. Like,
like, I'm gonna hang
and everyone's like, no, this nigga's gonna come back after a year or whatever. And he's like, you never came back. Same thing with Megatron. It's like,
yep.
I'm good. Like, I feel fine physically. I have a lot of money. Like, I don't need this. It's not this idea that I have to be the most storied or whatever. It's not real. It's not applicable. And I think there's a lesson in that, man. Like, happiness does not come from like ultimate achievement. Happiness comes from like, yo, did you do what you set out to do? Like, are you cool?
Right.
I'm cool.
And the other side of it too, that I also recently realized, is that, I mean, she kind of doesn't really seem that happy, but I think sometimes we listen to music and don't realize like the person's really like kind of crying out. And if you think about what she's talking about on the music, she had a lot of trauma, you know,
man.
And so,
and Wyclef was fucking her too.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So she went through a lot of bullshit. So this is like, we look like, oh, the album is so great, but it's like, kind of like the same thing with Mary J. Blige. Like, I saw her documentary and shit, and I was like, Oh yeah, Mary J. Blige is rapping about or like singing about being sad and going through bullshit all the
She
time.
was sad the whole time, bro.
Yeah, I'm like
The whole
damn.
fucking time.
You know, and to me, I'm just like a kid listening to music like da-da-da-da-da, but then you start looking like, damn, these is real people and they singing about the shit they're actually going through. So if we think about the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, she's telling you
The title is like,
yeah, like she's telling you. Play this
you remember
way.
the Rick and Morty episode where Little Rick,
Uh-huh.
where he clones himself or he makes him
and he has a tiny version of him.
the tiny Rick, and Tiny Rick is like always partying and shit. But like every time he talks, he's like, yeah, I got like existential sadness. Yeah. Like,
and everybody's like Tiny Rick.
It's like, hey man, he's telling you like I'm dying in here.
Yeah.
Oh, it brings me back to like one of my favorite fucking songs, not because it's like that great of a song, but just because the lyrics are just so opposite of what everyone is celebrating. It's fucking I Took a Pill in Ibiza, which was a fucking massive fucking super duper international hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, y'all ain't hearing this nigga's literally saying, I know a sad song. It's like, I'm just a singer who already blew his shot. I get along with old timers because my name's a reminder of a pop song people forgot. Niggas talking because remember he had that fucking I could write you a song to make you that was the pop song. He's literally telling you like I blew my whole fucking life. I'm done. Like I can't form relationships. I can't keep a girl no because as soon as sun come up, I cut them all loose. It works my excuse, but the truth is I can't open up. And the hook is I know a sad song, and this shit was the number one EDM hard. Going hard to that shit, man. That shit crossed over. They were playing that shit in urban stations and shit, man. Motherfuckers just thinking, fuck. And I'm thinking about like this nigga, like, yo, I'm trying. It's a cry for help, and everyone's like, yo, you that dude, Tiny Rick.
Exactly. Oh man.
Damn. By the way, as to a nice bow on all of this shit.
Yeah.
I looked up the Wikipedia for the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and this is exactly how it. It says the miseducation of Lauryn Hill is a neo soul and R&B album. Like, fuck you! It was not neo soul.
It was not neo soul.
White people. Somebody white wrote that.
Definitely.
Shit.
Niggas don't
damn
Wikipedia.
Yeah, exactly. Or if they are, it's to say some shit like, "Oh, someone got dunked on. Oh, died November 12th, 2023."
Oh, right.
It's always some shit like that.
I love that.
Oh man! All right, well, fuck it. That's gonna do it for us here. Shout out to John Gervais producing from afar. Shout out to Jay Skills and me. We were the 2 ones to hold it down. Trey tried to show up, but he couldn't get into the thing. Juju tried to show up, but he couldn't get in the thing earlier too. So we apologize. But we'll all be back next week, and maybe we'll give Trey some more shit for his goddamn nigga tux he got on. It's like I don't want you to be a nigga. I want you to be my nigga. It's like, who you call a nigga? You are this nigga,
with this nigga tux on.
Nigga tie on. This nigga tux on. All right.
All right.
Stay black.
Stay black, motherfuckers.